Krishna prasada sumukham spuraniya dhamma.
Krishna prasada sumukham sunaradaram.
Krishna prasada sumukham spuraniya dhamma.
Krishna prasada sumukham sunaradaram.
Krishna prasada sumukham spuraniya dhamma.
Krishna prasada sumukham sunaradaram.
Sneha lokakalaya visamsprasantam.
Sneha lokakalaya visamsprasantam.
Sneha lokakalaya visamsprasantam.
Sneha lokakalaya visamsprasantam.
Syami pratavurasi sobhitaya sriyasvas.
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 Chudamanim subhagayatam. Chudamanim subhagayantam atma. Vishnam. Chudamanim subhagayantam atma. Vishnam.
Chudamanim subhagayantam atma. Vishnam.
Krishna prasada sumukham spuraniya dhamma.
Krishna prasada sumukham spuraniya dhamma.
Sneha lokakalaya visamsprasantam.
Sneha lokakalaya visamsprasantam.
Syami pratavurasi sobhitaya sriyasvas.
Syame pratavurasi shobhitaya shriyasvas.
Chudamanim subhagayantam atma. Vishnam.
Chudamanim subhagayantam atmadhishyam.
Krishna prasada sumukham spuraniyatam.
Krishna prasada sumukham spuraniya dhamma.
Sneha lokakalaya visamsprasantam.
Sneha lokakalaya visamsprasantam.
Syame pratavurasi sobhitaya sriyasvas.
Syame pratavurasi shobhitaya shriyasvas.
Chudamanim subhagayatam atmadhishyam.
Chudamanim subhagayantam atmadhishyam. Krishna prasada sumukham spuraniya dhamma.
Krishna prasada sumukham spuraniyatam.
Sneha lokakalaya visamsprasantam.
Sneha lokakalaya visamsprasantam.
Syame pratavurasi shobhitaya shriyasvas.
Syame pratavurasi sobhitaya sriyasvas.
Chudamanim subhagayantam atmadhishyam.
Chudamanim subhagayantam atmadhishyam.
Krishna prasada.
Krishna prasada.
Krishna prasada.
Blessing everyone.
Blessing everyone.
Sumukham. Sumukham.
Sumukham.
Auspicious face.
Auspicious face.
Spuraniya.
Spuraniya.
Desirable.
Desirable.
Dhamma.
Dhamma.
Shelter.
Shelter.
Sneha.
Sneha.
Affection.
Affection.
Avaloka.
Avaloka.
Looking on.
Looking upon.
Kalaya.
Kalaya.
The expansion.
By expansion.
Within. Within the heart.
Within the heart.
Samsprasantam.
Samsprasantam.
Touching.
Touching.
Syami.
Yami.
Unto the Lord with blackish color.
Unto the Lord with blackish color.
Pathau.
Patau.
Broad.
Broad.
Urasi.
Urasi.
Chest.
Chest.
Sobhitaya.
Sobhitaya.
Being decorated.
Being decorated.
Sriya.
Shriya.
Goddess of fortune.
Goddess of fortune.
Swaha.
Saha.
heavenly planet.
Heavenly planets.
Shura summit. Subhagayantam, spreading good fortune. Iva, like Atma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dishnyam, abode. Translation. The Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure. His auspicious presence is meant for everyone's benediction. His affectionate smiling, glancing touch the core of the heart. The Lord's beautiful bodily color is blackish, and his broad chest is the resting place of the goddess of fortune, who glorifies the entire spiritual world, the summit of all heavenly planets. Thus it appeared that the Lord was personally spreading the beauty and good fortune of the spiritual world. Hare Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace Bhakti Sri Prabhupada ki. When the Lord came, he was pleased with everyone. Therefore it is stated here, Katsna Prasada Sumukham. The Lord knew that even the offensive doormen were his pure devotees, although by chance they committed an offense at the feet of other devotees. To commit an offense against a devotee is very dangerous in devotional service. Lord Chaitanya therefore said that an offense to a devotee is just like a mad elephant run loose. When a mad elephant enters a garden, it tramples all the plants. Similarly, an offense unto the feet of a pure devotee murders one's position in devotional service. On the part of the Lord, there was no offended mood because he does not accept any offense created by his sincere devotee. But a devotee should be very cautious of committing offenses at the feet of another devotee. The Lord, being equal to all and being especially inclined to his devotee, looked as mercifully at the offenders as at the offended. This attitude of the Lord was due to his unlimited quality of transcendental qualities. His cheerful attitude towards the devotees was so pleasing and heart-touching that his very smile was attractive for them. That attraction was glorious not only for all the higher planets of this material world, but beyond. For the spiritual world also. Generally, human being has no idea of what the constitutional position is in the higher metal planets, which are far better constituted regard to all paraphernalia. Yet the Vaikuntha planet is so pleasing and so celestial that it is compared to the middle jewel or locket in the necklace of jewels. In this verse, Spuraniya Dhama indicates that the Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure because he has all the transcendental qualities. Although only some of these are aspired for by the persons who hanker after the pleasure of merging in the Brahman. There are other aspirants who want to associate with the Lord personally as his servants. The Lord is so kind that he gives shelter to everyone, both impersonalists and devotees. He gives shelter to the impersonalist in his impersonal Brahman effulgence, whereas he gives shelter to the devotees in his personal abodes known as the Vaikuntha Lokas. He is especially inclined to his devotee. He touches the core of the heart of the devotee simply by smiling and glancing over him. The Lord is always served in the Vaikuntha Loka by many hundreds and thousands of goddess of fortune as stated by Brahma Samhita. Lakshmi Sahasrasat Sambramasya Vimanam. In this material world, one is glorified if he is favored even a pinch by the gods of fortune. So we can simply imagine how glorified is the kingdom of God in the spiritual world, where many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune engage in the direct service of the Lord. Another feature of this verse is that it openly declares where the Vaikuntha Lokas are situated. They are situated as the summit of all on the heavenly planets, which are above, which are above the sun globe at the upper limit of the universe, and are known as Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. The spiritual world is situated beyond the universe. Therefore, it is situated here that the spirit, beyond the universe. Therefore, it is stated here that the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Loka, is the summit of all planetary systems. Hare Krishna. I neither have any qualification nor do I have any realization. I was asked to speak this verse today by temple authorities. Just to, I'm obeying them, otherwise I'm good for nothing. I need blessings of everybody. Krishna Rupu, I need your blessing. Okay, so human life is meant for self-realization. What is human life meant for? Bhagavad Gita, Krishna begins with Bhagavad Gita telling, you are not this frame of body, but you are a spirit soul within. You are not the mind, you are not the body, but you are the soul. But we are very absorbed in bodily consciousness. We think we are this body, we think we are the mind. That is our problem. We are not the body. We are not the body, but we are a spirit soul. One day, a devotee from London, I know him very well, came to America and he gave us some PowerPoint presentations. And in the beginning of this year, I went to Mayapur. That lady, suddenly she mentioned his name. Even though he was in the last stages, he was preaching aggressively. I said, wow, what happened? Really? And a few days later, he passed away. Really? He's only 32. Ooh. And then Chandramouli Maharaj visited our temple 2 months ago. And he gave me a book. This Prabhu name is Janakinath, Brahmachari, Saffron. And I told Maharaj, actually Janakinath was very good Maharaj and I have a very good relationship. And Maharaj immediately took a book and gave me. This, Sutapa Prabhu, now is Swayam Bhagavan Keshava Maharaj. She wrote a book on him, and read it. This is a very small book about his last journey. But what was what stuck in my mind was the last picture where they were throwing his ashes in Ganga, Mayapur. So, this body is, one day it's going to turn into ashes. In other words, whatever we have eaten, slept, whatever meat and defend, it is nothing we are doing with this frame of ashes. It's a body of, just a body, it's made up of clay. That's what we are thinking we are. That's what we are thinking we are. That's why Sukadeva Goswami never wore any clothes, because I have a covering, nice clothes. Why do I need another cloth? I've already worn. I was thinking that picture was stuck in my mind actually. Wow. We are not the mind either. Because when somebody insists us, come to the party, come to the party, mind will tell us, go, go, go. Intelligence will tell us, don't go. Sometimes we listen to intelligence, we don't go. Sometimes, most of the time, we listen to the mind and we go. Means somebody is a listener, somebody is a presenting, petitioning, mind and intelligence. In other words, we are not the mind, we are not the intelligence. Simple as that. But because of the ego, ahankar, false ego, which is a rope that binds the soul to the body, and because of the three modes of material nature, we think we are this body. One day, Maya pulls the rope of goodness, Sattvagun. When Maya pulls the rope of Sattvagun, I should attend Mangalarti. I should go, I should chant my rounds. Yes, human life is meant for self-realization. Why not? You chant the rounds, mind is giving trouble, but you really work very hard. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You really fight with your mind, and yes, sometimes I will join full time also. I love this. This is the goal of the life. The next day, Maya pulls the rope of Rajagun, passion, mode of passion. The next day, Maya pulls the rope of passion. Next day, Maya pulls the rope of passion. You are agitated by sex desire. You are so much agitated by sex desire. Mangalarti, but I have to focus on career. I have to do this. Because mode of passion is not so much conditioning. Not as so much conditioning, so you'll come to Mangalarti. Even there is a kirtan going on, you'll stand before Radha, Radha Govindev. And I think I have to do this. And also this. Your mind is filled with the desires. Your mind, sometimes you are agitated sexually. And you are driven materially. Even though you are in the temple, in the presence of Srila Prabhupada, in the presence of Radha, Govinda Dev, Mahaprabhu, and Giri Govardhan, Giriraj, Narsingha Dev, and Guru Parampara. There the battle is still on. Rajagun, you can still fight. Win, lose. You can 5 mantras focus, 5 mantras no focus. Interesting. Can I continue? Third day, Maya pulls the rope of ignorance. 4 o'clock, you put the alarm at 3:30. Pad, snooze. You're sleepy. 3:45, third. Another 15 minutes. Finally, it is 4 o'clock. 4:30. Why can't they make it at 4 o'clock? Stop. 4:15, I can make it. 4:15 also will put the alarm. Anyway, now I fully woke up, I don't need alarm. But 2 more minutes I'll sleep. And you'll sleep 2 more minutes and you'll get up, it's already 6:30. Mangala is over, let me sleep because Prasad is 9 o'clock anyway. Third day, Maya pulls the rope of ignorance and helplessness. My experience, I don't have anything in my hand. I don't tell you. Can you see this wire? From here to here is mode of goodness, here to here is passion, here to here is ignorance. Think like that. When your consciousness shifts, it's like when you're here, goodness, you're very interested. You'll try to fight with the mind, you'll try to focus. But yeah, we all have a strong desire to enjoy. The consciousness shifts from mode of goodness to passion. Your ability to fight reduces and the Maya agitates you with the desires, material desires. But my consciousness goes further. Tamogun, you have very little or no control in mind. You're helpless actually. And when Maya comes to the consciousness, when because of the attack of Maya, when our consciousness is in Rajogun, the scripture doesn't work. Japa doesn't work. You do it, you enjoy, whether it is a, yesterday's sushi or a cookie or you want to enjoy senses, the genitals, whatever, enjoy. As that it goes far. When you are absorbed in Rajogun. Tamagun means even further. Envy, greed, sleep, totally covered. This is my research for this many years. You know, why devotees quarrel many times I thought. This is the one. Even if they have been chanting for a long time. Because it all depends on how much strong our desire is to enjoy independent of Krishna. That's how these modes will shift back and forth. I have not touched the today's verse yet. Because this is very important. You know? Should I continue? So, this verse is actually kingdom of God, spiritual world. When there was actually Jai and Vijay, then they were, there was a problem between Jai and Vijay and four Kumaras. Four Kumaras, became upset and cursed them. Immediately Supreme Lord came out. Came out. He was pleased with everyone. Prabhupada said this. You know why everyone loves me? Prabhupada asked. Because I love everyone unconditionally. Dhira dhira jana priyo priyakaro nirmatsaro pujito. The six Goswamis, they were loved by devotees and ruffians. Sober people and ruffians also. Everyone loved them actually because they loved everyone. So, he came out. Krishna is the Suhradam Sarvabhutanam. Krishna is our well-wisher, is our best friend. But what happened? There is a problem here. What is the problem? There was an offense here. This four Jai and Vijay blocked the entrance. He blocked four Kumaras. And they became upset and they cursed. So today, let us talk about offense. Let us talk about this offense, Vaishnava Aparad. If time is there, I'll continue to the next paragraph. But the first paragraph, there is a lot about offense. I started my Krishna consciousness in Singapore. I used to work there. One day, Janananda Prabhu, today he took sannyas now, and he's Janananda Goswami. So he said, he was giving class. That was my first year as Krishna consciousness. Any questions he asked, I raised my hand. Prabhuji, in your lecture you said you have been chanting for 30 years. If I have to chant 30 years, what should I do? I thought he would tell me to sleep early and rise early and go to Mangalarti. Something like that he would tell. But he said, he raised his finger like this, no Vaishnava aparadha. That day I didn't understand actually. It was my first year. But offending is that much big problem or what? No Vaishnava aparadha. Don't offend any devotee. Then you will be able to chant 30 years. If not, bead bag is taken. But now after this many years I understood. One day Gauranga Prabhu quoting Jiva Goswami said, if we commit 100 offenses, he said up to 1,000 offenses, our chanting becomes inattentive. Means every day we are committing 1,000 offenses. Hare Krishna. From 1,000 to 10,000 offenses, if you commit, your bead bag is taken. It will not get it back. Even if you have so many bhakti credits, time being they are covered. It's like you have a iron safe with a lot of money, but you forgot the code for it. You'll forget. All the bhakti credits that you have, they are there. They are never lost, but they are covered. Especially somebody who is very rajo, passionate, very aggressive, and practices bhakti in tamogun or rajogun. Third canto Śrimad Bhāgavatam, Kapila Muni speaks about bhakti in rajogun and bhakti in tamogun. And they worship Krishna. These are people, they worship Krishna. But bhakti in tamogun means separatism. My way or highway. Rajogun means you want to enjoy the fruits of bhakti for yourself. My Lord, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. I'll only for your pleasure I'll do it. So that is Rajagun Bhakti. There is Sattvagun Bhakti also. You are performing bhakti for your purification. You are performing bhakti to cleanse your heart. But Shuddha Bhakti is above 3 modes. So, when somebody is in the lower modes of Rajagun, Tamogun, there is a high possibility they may offend others if they are not careful. Especially, Prakriti Krimanani Guni Karmani Sarvas Ahankara Vimudatma Kartaham Iti Manyate. How easy it is to quote when somebody is listening. How difficult it is to practice. Day after day, month after month, year after year, birth after birth. The only thing I realized in this many years of practicing bhakti, Hare Krishna mantra is powerful. You can go back to Godhead. You can awaken the love of God. Ammayatma Prabhu, 2022, Prabhupada Appearance Day, he made his offering. How many of you read? From LA. Amazing. He said, Prabhupada, you came to Los Angeles, 1976. After that, you never came. I could not come to India in 1977 to see you. So it's 46 years now. But I have a partner for 41 years, my wife. This year she left the world. To cut the story short, a week later she appeared in my dream and she told me to tell everyone that Prabhupada, your process works. My wife, she appeared in my dream and told me she is going back to Godhead. She said, This is for everyone, he is telling, and quoting her. Even if you don't have a project, even if you are not a performer, even if you are not worshipable, exalted, you know, uh, devotee in ISKCON, or even if you don't have any, what is that, position in ISKCON, even if you're a simple devotee, nobody knows. You will go back to Godhead, she said. So he's telling you the process works. Wow. It was so inspiring to devotees actually. You know, this became viral actually. So anyway, my point is, even if we are not great performers, whatever little service that we do in the temples, hold on to the process. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Why nobody's chanting? Louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Much louder. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The process works, but one thing we should not do, we should not offend devotees. Are, I have that type of experience. Everything was taken. Bead bag was not taken. Praying, my Lord, what is the mistake I did? I know I realized I did some mistake. So, there is a lecture by Radhana Swami, Maya seizes the offender. You know, one should hear that lecture actually. Maya seizes the offender. If you offend devotees constantly, you cannot stay. We should not offend. We should not speak ill of devotees. We should not criticize devotees. Actually, he says, what to speak of devotees? If you offend non-devotees, you'll get reaction. No, we should not offend anybody. You know? Why do we offend devotees? Or anybody, why do we offend? One is a pride. I am big. I am the best. I. When we have false pride in our heart, we offend devotees. When Krishna told Nanda Maharaj to stop Indra Yajna, Indra became infuriated. Vachalam balisam stabdam ajnam panditam maninam krishnam martyam upasritya gopame chakrura priyam. Or if you really read that verse, you will think, what Hiranyakasipu is telling this verse or what? Indra is scolding Krishna. Can you believe? Indra got his position from Krishna. Indra is a devotee. But when our ego is hurt, when somebody says, Prabhu, you are amazing, Mataji, you are amazing, nobody gets hurt. Everyone feels happy. But when somebody hurts our ego, who did this? Who asked you to remove this? Immediately your consciousness shifts to Rajagun. When you step on the tail of the snake, immediately snake raises its hood. You're telling me? What do you think of me? So Indra is telling Vachalam, he's foolish, talkative, impudent boy. What he is thinking of himself? Panditamananam, he thinks he is great. But these people are so ignorant. They have listened to this boy. I'll teach that type of lesson. Nobody would ever do this mistake again. And he is scolding Krishna with bad words. This is Bhagavatam. Means our ego is hurt, that much extent we will go. Krishna uses Indra to convey a message to all of us. Indra is a super exalted personality. Entire Rigveda Indra is glorified. So pride or false ego, another reason for offense is envy. Durvasmuni, 60,000 disciples. I can with my body go to Kailash, can go to Brahmaloka, can go to Vaikuntha. I am an expansion of Lord Shiva. Then Ambarish Maharaj comes and falls at his feet. Blessing. Because Ambarish Maharaj is a Grihastha. Bhakti positions have no meaning and value actually. As long as we utilize them in the Krishna service, they have some meaning and value, of course. But when we try to use them, we'll start going away from Bhakti. And Ambarish Maharaj offended, Durvasmuni offended Ambarish Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Vishnu, Krishna once for all conveyed a message to everyone. My devotee will not take offense. But the dust under his feet takes offense. And I take that offense. So we should not offend devotees. If we really want to retain the bead bag. Honestly speaking, my bead bag was also lost in the same temple, this corner. And Ansuru Prabhu searched with all the video. That video is recorded, right? 8 hours. He watched the whole video. He said, no, couldn't find it. Again, I got another bead bag from my Guru Maharaj. The point is, what is that? Vaishnava is deadly. That's why one should have a goal when they come to ISKCON. I want to make maximum progress in bhakti. Actually, I want to go back to Godhead. That should be the goal. If not, at least I should make maximum progress. Then what happens? We are careful, and we hold on to our bead bags. And we make sure, when somebody is humble, they will never offend anybody. The medicine for pride is respect. So much respect. Today morning I came into the temple hall. As well as Chandrasekhar Maharaj, he was chanting and he offered obeisances. So big and he's offering obeisances. I'm sorry, Maharaj. And I'm sorry, you're here. So, Maharaj, I'm telling you, I want others to, just learn. I want myself to learn. Then he said, wow. Then, a few minutes later, somebody else came in. And, okay, Maharaj did it, I also did it. Because, that's how we learn. What is that? Then, Ram Rai Prabhu came, I know Maharaj will do for him, so I also did it. That is association, learning from seniors, learning from, our worshipables, how they are doing it, so we should also do it. So then what happens? A person who has respect for others, high respect for others, even it works in the families actually, between wife and husband, and when there is a high respect, there is very little or no chance of offending them. Even if some things happen here and there, back and forth, this strong layer of respect will prevent us from offending others. Even if we have a lot of false pride, a lot of envy, we all have envy. At least myself, I have a lot. So, what is that? One should consciously work for removing the impurities. At the same time, develop an attraction for service to the lotus feet of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, who has given this process, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya, the most magnanimous personality, you know. But the magnanimous personality, Gopal Chapla came. Gopal Chapla offended Srivas Thakur. He with a bad intention to bring Srivas, reputation, to bring it down. He did all the nonsense, creating an environment to create an impression to the outsiders that he was doing all this sacrificing. He was sacrificing all this, all these animals, He was doing some tantra. And because he offended Srivas Thakur, he contracted leprosy. He was suffering. And one day he came across Lord Chaitanya and said, Nimai, please help me. This suffering is so difficult to tolerate. Give your mercy. Lord Chaitanya said, you want my mercy? Retake my mercy. For next 10 million lifetimes you suffer from leprosy, every birth. This is Lord Chaitanya, most magnanimous incarnation. Why he is telling like that? For next 10 million lifetimes, every birth you suffer suffer from leprosy. Why? Why do you offend about his envy? That envy is so deep-rooted, it has become an integral layer of our consciousness. So Lord Chaitanya as a doctor is prescribing this medicine of going through leprosy for 10 million lifetimes. Then you will understand you are not this body. Nobody identifies with the body when you are a leper. But of course, eventually Lord Chaitanya is really magnanimous. When he really repented, he told him, go and ask forgiveness from Shivas. If Shivas forgives you, then I can take care. Srivas Thakur forgave him, Lord Chaitanya blessed him, and Gopal Chapala was recovered from leprosy. His leprosy disappeared actually, became normal. Hare Krishna. So yes, heart, I'm talking about myself, my heart is filled with envy. Don't offend. Chant, hold on to the bead bag, sincerely chant the holy name. Brahma lives for 311 trillion 40 billion years. Compared to that, what is 78 years? That picture I am remembering the devotees of London throwing the ashes of Janakinath Prabhu in the Mayapur Ganga. Likewise, they also, one day somebody will throw my ashes also in Ganga. How many gulab jamuns I ate, how much rasgulla I ate, how much enjoyment I went through. It doesn't matter. The sex life I went through, it doesn't matter. It is just a pile of ashes, a handful of ashes. Chapter is closed? Yes. But heart is filled with so many desires, only to open another chapter. Come back again. Go to school again. And with whatever the rest of the envy, start again doing wrong things. Again they'll throw the pile of ashes. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatre sayanam. Ye samsare kadukkare krupaya dehi pahi murare. Bhajagovindam, 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 modamate samprapte sannihite kale, nahi rakshate dukram karane. Shankaracharya impersonalist. Shankaracharya is telling, every time, every death and every time you die and sit in the mother's womb. Which mother? One lifetime it is cat mother, and another lifetime it is dog mother, one lifetime it is human mother. Only when we are in human body we can understand all these things. But when we are in different bodies we can't. So why not we give one lifetime to Krishna? Prabhupada told Bhakticharya Swami. We are married so many lifetimes, we have parents and family members. So many lifetimes, every lifetime we have all these family members. But what we don't have is Krishna. Prabhupada told Bhakticharya Swami, give one lifetime to Krishna. Bhakti Charisam listened it. He gave one lifetime. And he says, he said this, I was not the loser. I would travel to different parts of the world, and my disciples would tell them, devotees would ask them, Maharaj, stay back, stay back. I cannot wait. He would go, without marriage, I have so many kids and so many family members. So anybody who comes to Krishna and does service is not a loser. They lose nothing, but they gain a lot. But he passed away 2 years, it's already, 1 year over. So my point is, human life is meant for self-realization. Yellabdhva chapre labam manyate nadikam tada yasmin sthutena dukkena guruna api vichalyate. A person who is really sincere, what he thinks, this devotee I served him, this sannyasi I served him, this devotee, GBC I served him, this devotee in the temple, this tiny yesterday who joined yesterday I served him. I think I made little progress. Wow, that is great. Yellabdhva, that is a labam, that is a gain. If you have that mentality, you will not offend anybody. If not, I am a senior devotee, 30 years. It will bring false pride. So that is the chapter, that is the first paragraph. Second paragraph is about all the glories of Krishna and Vaikuntha planets. There is no unhappiness there because Krishna is there. Krishna is beautiful. Christianity and Islam, one of the top religions. But just go and ask Christianity, who is God? Who is God? How does he look? What are his likes and dislikes? Who are his associates? Is it written, Maharaj? Jesus Christ says, my Father, why did you leave me here? Eli, Eli, la sabachthani, Hebrew. Why did you leave me here? So how does that Father look like? Is it written? How does the Father look like? Yeah. Only one person who saw little bit, that was also not clear, was Moses and the burning bush. Moses only saw the shadow. Another person is Abraham. God comes before him. The description was not clear. But Śrimad Bhāgavatam, we know how God looks like, what is his name, and who are his associates, what are his likes and dislikes, everything is given. Pages and pages, Nectar of Devotion I was reading, what are his qualities, there are chapters, how beautiful he looks. Everything is mentioned. Barapida natavaropakarna yokarnikaram bibhrutva sakagana kapisam vaijanti chamalam Randran Vendradrasudayo Gopavrundai Vrindaranyam Sapdharmanam Pravishat Gita Krati. What is his beauty? He is wearing forest flowers. There is a peacock feather. Wearing yellow garment, pitambar, and holding a flute. And he has a Vaijantimala garland, Vaijantimalam. And he is filling that nectar from the lips into the flute. And is playing on the flute a call of love, Hare Krishna. So much, there is a lot of explanation about Krishna's beauty and his qualities. Rupa Goswami mentions in Nectar of Devotion. So what is that? Anyway, Islam, they think God is light. There is no description at all. But so one line I want to tell is, sky is great, vast. I cannot join full time to render service to sky because sky doesn't reciprocate. Ocean is great, but I appreciate ocean, but I cannot join full time to do service to ocean. Ocean doesn't reciprocate. I appreciate sunlight, moonlight, but I cannot join full time to do service to sunlight and moonlight because there is no reciprocation. For you to dedicate your life, God should be a person. That is Krishna, Akhila Rasamrata Murti. You want to play marble, Goli, he'll come and play with you. Whatever you want to do, he'll do. That type of person I can give my life. I can join full time and dedicate. This is what I can tell. Please forgive me. If I have spoken anything wrong, I'm good for nothing. Useless person. But thank you very much for your patient listening. If I have spoken anything wrong, do excuse me as your humble servant. 1-2 minutes time. Is there any question or comment? Otherwise, we'll end the class because next part is very important. Prasad. Yes, bro.
Thank you, Shubham. Thank you for the class. I had a question about, you said the offenses. You know, it's good when we're trying to stop offenses and try to not commit offenses, but then we get the story of Rupa Goswami, who was completely, you can say his mentality was inoffensive because he's a Goswami, but he was laughing, reading a Shastra, and then the Brahmana got offended even though it was inadvertent. So how do we understand mistaken offenses? Because there's offenses that we're trying not to commit, we're not blaspheming Vaishnavas, but then sometimes offenses just happen. How do we reconcile those offenses we may not even have known that we may have committed?
Actually, that pastime is given only to caution us. To that much extent, offense will go. I also read it. I heard it. One lecture in Radhanaswami lecture, I heard. This much extent it will go. Rupa Goswami just, Krishna was braiding the hair of Radharani, and Radharani saw Krishna. It's not. So Radharani, she became shy, and everyone, all the gopis started laughing. Rupa Goswami in his spiritual form, he started, as Rupa Manjari, he started laughing. This Brahmana took offense, and immediately vision disappeared. So then the answer to that, your question is, unknown offenses. Every day we say, Vancha kalpadurubhyasya kripa sindubhye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavbhyo. We say that. When you come to the temple and say that and offer obeisances to devotees, then that offense is unknowingly committed, and we are forgiven, by saying that. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur also says, you have done an offense, the person is not available, you want to ask forgiveness, but not available. If you chant for a long time, sincerely, you regret for what you have done and chant, prolonged chanting also removes that offense. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says that. Does it answer your question? Mara, you want to add anything?
Every day we say Yani Kani Chapapani Brahmaha Yani Kani Tani Tani Panasyanta Pradaksina Pade Pade. So as we are walking around closely and destroying our offenses, and so this is another way. Of course, we can ask forgiveness if we know we've made one, but if we don't know we've made one, then they get expunged by circumambulating Tulsi. And also, in Mayapur, one of the islands in Mayapur is Koladweep. And Koladweep is a special place where all offenses are taken away.
Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu. Thank you. Any other question or comment? Yes, Mara said Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu is another place where you go and ask forgiveness and your offenses are forgiven.
You summarized nicely the idea that our devotional service can be affected by goodness, passion, ignorance. That's from the Kapila's teachings, It's like to just read the verses because it has a few extra details. Summary didn't include. Devotional service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent, and angry, and who's a separate is considered in the mode of darkness. The worship of deities in the temple by a separatist for the motive for material enjoyment, fame, and opulence is devotion in the mode of passion. When a devotee worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offers the results of his action in order to free himself from the inebrities of fruitive activities, his devotion is in the mode of goodness. And the manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is residing in everyone's heart. Just as the water of the Ganges flows naturally down to the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows toward the Supreme Lord.
Amazing.
That's the Lord Kapila, 3rd canto, 29th chapter, verses 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Which chapter?
29.
Third canto, 29.
8 to 12.
29, 12.
Yeah.
29 chapter, 10th, 11th, 12.
8 to 12.
8 to 12.
Yeah, the last two, before the fifth page and the first three are the darkness, passion.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So then we'll end it here. Thank you very much. Grandhara Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki, Śrīla Prabhupada ki, Radha Govind Dev ji ki jai, Mahaprabhu ki, Śrīman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Giriraj Govardhan ki jai, Nastani Bhagwan ki jai. Thank you very much. Anantakota Vaishnava ki jai.
Jai.